Hi guys, today I am back to film my first 2016 Project Pan update. This month did not go as well as January of last year did, but I think a lot of that has to do with in 2014 I was doing a Project Pan, but I wasn't taking it like as serious. So I think that this January I was just feeling a little bit burnt out from doing it last year and like kind of working on it a lot harder. And then I also think just with all the new product launches lately, it's just been kind of hard for me to like try out all the new stuff but keep using everything that I have. So anyways, I don't have any empties, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started with the update of everything. I do have quite a few products that are pretty close to being empty but not quite yet. And this is probably going to be another long video since I have to do an update kind of on everything, but I will try to make it really quick. So first things first are the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I think I only used this like a handful of times, maybe 1 or 2 times, but I did mention that I like to mix this with a lighter foundation, and the lightest one I have is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I get it in like 110, which I think is like porcelain or something like that, and I usually mix those two together, and I really like it. But as I mentioned in my yearly favorites, I've been out of the Maybelline Fit Me, and I just purchased it the other night, so I should be able to start using this a little bit more now that I actually have something to mix it with. But I think I'm also going to try mixing this with the Rimmel Lasting Finish, because I'm trying to pan the Rimmel Lasting Finish, and I just feel like kind of trying some foundation cocktails out and seeing how they go. So I have mentioned in past panning videos too that out of like certain categories, I usually like to pick a product and kind of focus on that one. So for me, out of the foundation category, I've been focusing on this way more. It's the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. I don't really remember exactly where I was at last time, but I mean, I don't have a whole lot left. I've used this a ton. I've been really trying to finish this month and next month. Like, I need to finish this because otherwise it's going to have to wait until the end of the year. It's really hard for me to wear this during the summertime just because it is so moisturizing and my skin is so oily that it just ends up being a hot mess. So I really need to kind of finish this now, or it's going to have to wait until, you know, November, December of next year for me to start working on it again. But like I said, I don't have a lot left. I've really been focusing on this a lot, so I think another month and this should be gone, or at least my fingers are crossed for that. So that is my progress on that one. Pretty good. Like I said, hope to keep it up and have it finished. Next is the Laura Geller Baked Trio. This probably isn't going to look super different. It's not going to. It's a baked product. It's going to take a long time to finish. But there is something I kind of wanted to show you guys. I don't know if you're going to be able to kind of tell how the bronzer is it's really rounded. Whereas when I show the highlighter, can you tell that it's kind of flattening out? So the highlighter I've been using quite a bit. I've been using it almost every single day. And I actually have it on today as a face powder, like all over. I just set my foundation with it because it's kind of too dark for me to use as a highlighter. It's almost like my skin tone or like a shade or two darker. So I was like, let's just try it as a setting powder. And I think it looks pretty nice actually for being like a setting powder. Like it looks kind of like a dewy, luminous powder. So far I'm actually kind of thinking that that might be how I'm going to use that. The other thing is though, is all of these colors, I can kind of mix them together. The blush is really pigmented, but if I mix it with the highlighter, it kind of shears it out and it becomes a little bit more of a lighter kind of watermelon color. Like this blush is pretty watermelon color already, but like, I don't know, it just kind of lightens it up a little bit. Or I can mix it with the bronzer and it kind of becomes more of a rosy mauve color. So I am kind of thinking that I might mix some of the colors too to kind of use them up a little bit faster. But I did use everything in here. I've used it a couple times. I've just used the highlighter the most. So that's where you're going to see most of the progress. But so far, I'm kind of feeling pretty good about this. And I know I said I was pretty scared to kind of pan it because it's a baked product and baked products tend to take a while. But so far, I'm pretty happy with that progress already. So next up is the Murad Oil Control. So when this finally settled, it was like up here, I want to say, and I have managed to get it down to here. And I've just been using this as a primer like the last 2 weeks. I haven't even been using it the full month, so I think just even in the last 2 weeks I have gotten it to go drastically down quite a bit. So I'm going through this a lot faster than I had even originally thought that I would. So again, I really want to keep it up, and maybe this will be, you know, done by the end of February. But so far that has went really well this month. Next is my NYX Baked Blush, and this is in, I want to say it's Wanderlust. Let me check. Yes, Wanderlust. This I only used once. I've been a little bit slower on panning blushes, like I just haven't wanted to, and I kind of think that's because of MAC Breath of Plum last year. So this is what Wanderlust looks like. It's still quite domed, but I did want to show you guys another blush from NYX that I have used a ton, and this one is Ladylike, and you can kind of see like how flat that one is. So this one's quite a bit more round and domed, but I mean, it could be really flat like Ladylike. So I'm going to kind of keep that in mind that, you know, I need to get it flat. Next is my dip brow. My dip brow I used every single day. I think there was only 2 days that I didn't, and I really didn't have anything else to use, so I just used like a brow gel those days. But that's what it looks like. When I hold it like this, it's pretty low. And I know that this doesn't go a whole lot lower, otherwise you'd be able to see it kind of dip down into this thick glass part, but it doesn't really. It's pretty even with it. So I feel like this little bit might be kind of all that I have left. The Benefit They're Real mascara. I've again used this almost every single day. The only other mascara I've used is the Cosmetics, the like 5-in-1 mascara. And the only reason I would use that is if I'm in a hurry, because since this is kind of a plasticky bristle wand, I have to be a little bit more careful. I have to take a little bit more time with it. And the It Cosmetics one is a plastic bristle brush like this one too, but for some reason it doesn't hurt my eyes. It doesn't poke them. I don't know why. It's a lot faster for me to just swipe it on and go. So I've used this pretty much every single day. It is already, I can tell, starting to get a little bit drier. I don't want to say it's flaking, because I don't think it's flaking. I think that was like an eyeshadow issue I was having. But there was some flaking kind of around the middle of the month, and it could be this, but I'm kind of thinking it was an eyeshadow. So we'll just kind of see how much longer this is going to hold on. I don't know. I'm kind of expecting like another month or two, I think, and that'll really be done too. The They're Real push-up liner I actually didn't use this month. I've been focused on another black liner in here. However, next month I do want to make sure that I use it at least once or twice just to get some progress with it, even if it's nothing drastic. But since it's a little sample size, I was like, it probably won't take me too terribly long to actually finish it. Next is the Benefit What's Up highlighter. This too, the first 2 weeks of the month, I used this like really religiously. And now I'm just like, I hate this product, and I remember why I don't like it. But it comes in this little pan. You can kind of see I've got a dip going on. It's just too dark for me. It's just like really peachy colored on my skin. Like, see how dark it looks right now? That's how it ends up looking on me. Whereas when it hits the light, it looks really nice and light and like it's gonna work out for me. But it just ends up looking like this on my skin. And I've actually tried to put the Laura Geller highlighter on top, and it just somehow made it even more worse. So I was just like, this is just not going well. I think what I'm going to do this next month though is mix this with a lotion and just see if I can kind of get like a shimmery lotion with it, and if that would make it kind of go faster. I know last year that's what I did with this, is I would apply it to my chest just for some shimmer, just to use it up a little bit faster. And it worked okay. The other thing I think I'm going to start doing is applying this to the inner corners as like a cream base before I actually put on my inner corner highlight, and seeing how that does. I was going to try it as an eyelid base, but I already have Barely Brand in here. I kind of need to just focus on that one. So next is the Lorac Front of the Line Pro Liner. I don't know why I can't say that. This has went pretty well. This liner though, honestly you guys, I would never purchase this or never recommend purchasing it. I think it's a little bit of a ripoff how much product you get, and the actual product itself is not that great. It's really kind of dry. So it has great lasting power because it's dry, but it's just not easy to work with. So that's how much I have left. I know I told you guys like last time, like it was exactly like an inch, and if I kind of use my knuckle as an inch, it is a little bit shorter than that now. So I feel like I have definitely made some progress with it. It's just, I don't know, I was expecting more from this liner. I was expecting it to be better quality, but I was also expecting I was going to make better progress with it this month too. So there is that one. The next is the Mally Midnight Affair. This one I didn't use this month because I was using the Lorac one. This is almost like a glittery black color. So this is almost exactly where I left it. It really has not changed at all. Next is Plum Sapphire. This one I've sharpened 2 or 3 times, so it is quite a bit shorter. I'll hold it up to Midnight Affair here so you can kind of see the difference. But this one is Plum Sapphire and the longer one is Midnight Affair. So you can see it is a little bit shorter. I actually have it on today, but I've had to sharpen it quite a few times. It's just, I don't know, I don't know if it's my sharpener or this, but something just got kind of weird with it and I had to like break the tip off and resharpen it because it was like really unstable. I'm just gonna end up breaking anyways. So Plum Sapphire is definitely shorter. Definitely been making a little bit more progress with that one than Midnight Affair, but I feel like that one will go pretty quickly. Let's see, next is my Ulta liner in Deep Brown. This one has made a ton of progress this month as well. I've just been using it pretty much every day. And this was a little bit more than an inch. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell that it's shorter, but it is definitely shorter. So this is what NYX Stiletto looks like. I'm sure it looks no different than last time, but it has this huge dip in it, and I want to show you guys, but I don't know how to show it because it just like won't catch it. But I mean, it's really, really low right here where my finger is. So I feel like that's not going to take a whole lot longer before it's going to be showing pan, because the last NYX single shadow that I used and finished didn't take very long at all. So this is going really well, and I think that'll be finished by June at the very least. So there's Stiletto. Next is my NYX Black Label lipstick in Hot Pink. I didn't use this, but I will show you guys anyways. That's what it looks like. This is probably going to be more of a spring and summer lipstick I'm going to focus on then. That's what that one is at. Birthday Babe, same thing. I don't think I used this. I might have tried to mix it with something, but I don't really think I used it. So it's still very full. It's got kind of an air bubble on the side right now, but it's full. Next is my NARS Cruella lip pencil. For some reason I cannot talk. This I haven't used either since December. I've just been focusing on Russian Red. I figured out of the 2 red lipsticks I wanted to focus on one of them and then save the other one for when I finish the first one. And Cruella I feel like was going to be the easy one, so I was like, let's start with MAC Russian Red, get it done, get it over with, and I will come to Cruella once I finish Russian Red. So this hasn't been used at all. I've only ever worn this pencil twice, I think, so I've never even sharpened it. So it is full size, but I wanted to show you compared to this one, which I'm going to just say Rikugian. I don't know if that's even right, but I've worn this so much this last month. Like, this is what the difference is from the full size one to what I've used up with Rikugian. So you can see I have sharpened it quite a bit. It has gotten quite a bit shorter. This too, I just think next month or March, I will bet I will finish this one. As long as I keep applying it the way I have been. I have it on today. Like, I'm constantly wearing it in an attempt to like finish something lip product wise. So there's that. Next is the Hempz Herbal Lip Balm. This I've used pretty decent amount of times, but I don't think you're going to really be able to tell anything. It still looks pretty similar to last time. I have been kind of working on this side over here, but I mean, it's just nothing super drastic. So this one too, I feel like I kind of need to pick up the pace a little bit. I've been doing pretty well about applying it before bed and stuff, but I just think I need to get a little bit better and then kind of making sure to like reapply it more throughout the day, especially if I'm having like a no makeup day, or if like, let's say, you know, I worked this morning and I'm home for the night and I'm not going to be really caring about what lip color I put on. Just apply that and make sure my lips are staying pretty much constantly moisturized. So there's that. The Benefit Cha Cha Balm, same thing. I have not touched this yet. I've just been focusing on Rikugian and Russian Red. Those have been the two focus lip products I've been working on, so no progress there. Next is NYX Sweetheart, and I actually wore this one quite a bit the first 2 weeks of January because I started out focusing on that and Russian Red, but I think I left it in my purse. So I cannot find it right now, sadly, because it actually does have some progress. It actually is a little bit shorter and you can actually kind of tell, but I can't find it. So I hope I find it because I want to keep panning it. Next is MAC Russian Red. This isn't going to look that terribly much different, but I have worn it quite a few times. It's kind of been my goal to wear at least once a week has been kind of what I told myself. If not more than that, but I've been mixing it with different lip liners. I'm going to try pairing it with a couple glosses, I think, too. I don't think I've mixed it with any other lipsticks yet, though. So that is what it looks like. Like I said, nothing terribly different, but the one thing I have noticed about this lipstick is that I feel like when I wear this, I probably reapply it more than any other lip color, with the exception of Rikugian. Rikugian, I do reapply that one a ton too, but I feel like Russian Red, I reapply a lot, and when I apply, I feel like I am applying kind of a lot. So I don't know, that one might go a little faster than I kind of thought it was going to, but I just don't wear red lips a ton, so kind of back and forth on that one. Next is my Maybelline Color Tattoo in Barely Branded. This is going pretty well. I feel like I'm going to see pan or the bottom of the glass jar soon, but there's so much product around the side. Like, it's pretty deep down in there, but like I said, I have all that product on the side. The only thing is the product that's around the side is super, you know, not dried out, but it's super, can't think of the word right now. It's just not as creamy, whereas the stuff at the very bottom of the pan is obviously super, super creamy. So I've been trying to, like, every time I use it, kind of get a little mix of the side and the bottom, so that way it kind of evens out and it's somewhat creamy. So that's been going pretty well. I've only used this a few times this month, so I'm kind of impressed to feel like I've actually used enough that I can tell it's getting lower, but I feel like that one's going pretty well. Next is my MAC Naked Lunch eyeshadow. This has got some more pan showing on it. It's a little bit bigger now. So this too is actually going really well. I have it on my lid today, but this has just been a nice shadow for if I'm kind of like, I don't really know what to do. I can just pick some nice neutral colors to throw in the crease. Like, I know today I have kind of some more rosy stuff from the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. Otherwise, you know, I could do something more cool tone, something more like warm browns. But this has just been kind of nice to just throw on the lid. I can do it for inner corner highlight. So this one's been going pretty well too. I'm kind of surprised how well my single shadows are going this year compared to last year. Next is my Urban Decay Virgin eyeshadow. This, I think there's more pan showing. It seems like there is. But I have been kind of focusing a little bit less on where the pan is showing and trying to focus over here where it's super, super thick still. Because getting more pan to show, like, it's great, but I really kind of want to get this a little bit lower over here. So this is going pretty well too. Same thing, I could just throw it all over the lid. Brow highlight, inner corner, it just works wonderfully for many, many things. Next is the Nip and Fab Frown Fix. I kind of forgot about this month, and that's the problem I keep having with this, is that I just keep forgetting about it. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to, like, it's kind of over in the corner a little bit more, and I think I'm gonna have to move it over with my makeup a little bit more to try to remember to use it. But I feel like this is another thing that I could just easily probably finish if I really just put my mind to it and just used it every day for a couple weeks. So I need to get better with that one. Next is my Philosophy Miracle Worker Overnight Moisturizer. This I've used a ton. Every time I use this now, I've been kind of using it on my face, and I use it kind of take it down my neck a little bit, but I've been taking this and doing it from here down to like my chest, like, because I realize that this part of your body too, like, it gets a lot of sun exposure, but it may not get a lot of like anti-aging products and stuff on it. So I decided to kind of bring the moisturizer further down, thinking, you know, if this has anti-aging benefits to it, it would be a huge help. But that is what it looks like now, so I mean, it's definitely lower. But I'm really hoping to finish this in a month or two. I just don't know why I didn't think of the whole bringing it down my neck further sooner, because that would have made this go so much faster in the past. Because I was definitely working on it a lot in November and December before I even started Project Pan, so I wish I would have thought of it a little bit sooner. Next is the Formula 1006 Get Your Glow On mask. I've only used this once and I still cannot tell how full this is, but I mean, it definitely, I don't know, every time I use this mask I do use quite a bit of it. So this, I've only used it once, but I feel like I've already made kind of good progress with it because I use such a big amount of it. But I just wish I could keep track of this. But so far so good. I can actually kind of squeeze the top now, so I know, like, you know, before I couldn't do that and now I can actually do that. So there is some more like air bubble room in there. Next are all my Bath & Body Works lotions and stuff. First up is Winter Candy Apple, which is the one I've been mostly focusing on, and I did kind of come to a realization this month with this, but I did decide to kind of do little progress lines. So last time I was up here at about the top of like the colorful label, and now I'm down to about here. And I'm realizing that the reason I'm not flying through this like I did last year with the Cashmere Glow body cream is because I don't like the Bath & Body Works lotions. I don't like these lotions. I like the body creams. They're thicker, more moisturizing. They absorb into my skin better. Whereas these lotions, they kind of feel sticky and I just don't really like them as much. So I think these are going to be a little bit more of a struggle for me, but it is still going to be my goal from here until at least March to try to finish it. But I'm really hoping that if I don't finish it, to at least get halfway, and then that way I can kind of come back to it in November and December and maybe finish it up. But not a lot of great progress with this. I'm a little disappointed with it. Like I said, I didn't do great about reapplying and applying it even really that often this month, but I think it's just because I don't like the lotion, so I don't really, if it's gonna make me sticky, then I just kind of don't feel like using it. But I'm going to finish it. Like, I'm really determined that I'm going to finish all these lotions. Next up is the Bath & Body Works Pink Chiffon. I decided to keep the lines for this one on the side a little bit more, but no progress. It's still up around the corners, kind of where it was last time. I'm probably, like I said, not going to start on this one until spring, I'm thinking. But I'm kind of wondering, I'm just kind of thinking, like, maybe I just need to get these lotions done and out of the way so that way I can work on the body cream, since I know I like the body creams. So I think this is why I'm going to do that kind of next too. That way I can just get the lotions out of the way. So next is Velvet Sugar, and this is the body cream. I did use this a couple times this month because I didn't want to use Winter Candy Apple. I just needed some really deep moisturization and those just weren't cutting it. So I did use this a couple times. Nothing super drastic. However, like, I can like kind of bend to the top now, which again, couldn't do that before. So there is some progress with this. It's just nothing super crazy. Next is the little travel size one. This is in Coconut Sunset. I put a little line up here because it's still way up at the top. Like, I haven't used this. This might go to LA with us too, just because I'm trying to think of like ways to kind of use it up more, but I mean, just nothing there progress wise yet. It'll probably be one I'll use more over the summertime too. So next is my Forever Midnight perfume. This too I have not used, so it's exactly where it was last time. It really does not have a lot in here, but because I've been focusing on another one, I haven't wanted to use this one yet. I've been wanting to finish the one that I'm focusing on, and then I'll probably jump right into this one because I feel like that too, not super hard to finish. Next is the actual mist. This one does have a line on it. I did put a little, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a line in here where it's supposed to be. This one's obviously a lot more full. I don't think we've used, or that I've used this. I almost said we use this because sometimes I do take the body mist and I'll use them as like a room spray. And I know my son kind of likes when I do that too. But I don't think I've used this as anything. I don't think I've used it really at all. So that should be about the same as where it was last month. Next is my Bath & Body Works Be Enchanted. I don't remember where this was last month exactly. I want to say I was saying it was up here, like the branch, and now it's down to here. This I haven't focused on a ton. I have used it obviously some if it's moved down a little bit, but it really hasn't been my focus fragrance. This one I know I did use as a room spray a couple times because, next is, let me see here, the Bath & Body Works Coconut Vanilla. This one I know too got used as a like room spray a couple times because before it was like literally all the way up to the top, and now it is, you know, kind of down and past the corners now. So this one does have a little bit of progress. It kind of seems like it wouldn't take you that long to actually get it from all the way up here to actually down and around the corners. But because this is so wide, it actually did take a little while before it actually like moved down. So I feel like from here it's only going to get easier because the bottle definitely like tapers in. It does taper out a little bit more at the bottom, but it's not much. So I think from here it's just going to only keep getting easier with this one. So I'm really excited about that one. Next is the Pacifica Hand Cream. Didn't use this, just focused on the Bath & Body Works ones, but there isn't a ton of product in here. I feel like this is like half full maybe. So this isn't something I'm super concerned about finishing. Next is, let me see here, my Pacifica Rollerball. This too, no progress, same as last time. Just been focusing on Bath & Body Works stuff again, so there's that. Same thing with the Victoria's Secret Coconut Passion. No progress, haven't really used this. I've used Velvet Sugar instead, so that is the same. Next is my Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum. I did do a little line up here where it was last time, and then here's the line of where I'm at now. So, I mean, a little bit of progress. Like I said, this is kind of almost like using a hair oil. You just don't really need a lot. So to even see that much progress, it's like trying to see, oh, okay. So even just see that much progress, you know, in a month, I feel like it's pretty good. So I don't think this will take me, I don't think it's going to take me till the end of the year, but it's going to take a while for sure. Just kind of seeing how much I used in about a month. And I know I didn't use this every single time I washed my hair, but I did use it pretty frequently. It was probably the hair product I focused on the most, so it did get the most use out of what I have in here. So next is my Sebastian Potion 9. I only used this like once or twice, so there's really not a lot of progress with this. The thing about this product is it feels super heavy when you first get it, and then like as you use it, it gets lighter. So it still feels very full, very heavy. So it'll be kind of nice to see as it gets used up and how it gets lighter feeling. Next is my Big Sexy Spray and Play. This is the only other product I think that has been used a ton besides the Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum. This I would say is like, it's like 3/4 of the way to at least half full still. It's still pretty full. I haven't used it a ton because I've been wearing my hair down. I've been wanting to cut back on heat styling, but I haven't really been able to. And then I haven't really been wearing my hair up, which is usually when I use my hairspray, so it hasn't had a ton of progress, but I think that as the time goes on, it'll get more use, because I have been kind of starting to wear my hair up a little bit more lately. I know I have it up today, but I mean, this is just a messy bun, so I didn't really hairspray it today, but I think that I'll start to get a little bit more use. Next is the TG Bedhead Small Talk. I know I said I could not tell where this was at product-wise, but I was kind of washing my hands the other day at the sink, and I looked over at it, and I was like, I can kind of see this line around it, and I was like, I think that it's the product, so I was kind of holding it up to the light, and you can actually tell where the product is if you catch the light just right. So this little line here is where it's at. So I'm kind of getting down to the most difficult part, because anytime a bottle gets really small and kind of tapers out, it seems like your progress is less once you get to these wider parts, because it takes more product for it to actually like move down. So I'm kind of right, you know, getting to that difficult part, but I mean, I was actually pretty happy to see that it was all the way down to here already, and I only had used this a handful of times, so I'm sure that most of this progress was from before I started this project, but that just kind of made me feel a little bit better about maybe possibly even finishing this product this year, because I thought it was just going to be impossible. Like, don't get me wrong, this is still a ton of product from here to the bottom, but it just certainly seems a little bit more attainable now. So there is the Bedhead Small Talk. Next is the Bliss Fuzz Off Foam. I didn't bring it in here because I haven't used it, and there's really no progress to show because the can is just a white can, so you can't see the product inside. But I didn't use it. It's going to be more of a spring, summertime product for me because it's a shaving product, and I don't know. In the wintertime, this might be a little TMI, but in the wintertime I actually shave my legs like in the shower, whereas in the summertime I like to use things like Nair and like the Fuzz Off Foam. They're quicker, they're easier. I don't know. That's just kind of the way I am. So I would probably use the Bliss Fuzz Off Foam more in spring and summer. The Bliss Hide and Glow Seek. Didn't use that one yet either, but I'm kind of, with it being January, I'm just kind of embracing my pale skin and just letting it go. So the Hide and Glow Seek would be, again, kind of more of a spring-summer product for me. So I haven't started that yet. Next is the Bath & Body Works 1000 Wishes perfume. This has been my focus fragrance. Last time I showed you guys, it was up here on the kind of smaller present, and I'm just going to take this off. Now you can kind of see where I'm at. I'm not going to lie, from once I got to like the little present, it took forever to move it to where it's at into the big present. And that's just because the corners kind of come outward, and it took a long time to actually get this to move down. But I was really hoping to have this finished this month, and then I just kind of underestimated, I think, how long it was going to take me to finish. Because I have worn this almost every single day. And I'm just going to have to kind of keep it up this month because I think that I could really finish it this month if I just keep it up. So that's where that's at, and like I said, I think I'll be able to finish it this next month. Next is my Elizabeth and James Nirvana Perfume Duo. No progress. I didn't use this because I was focusing on the 1000 Wishes. So that's the same. My NYX Radiant Finishing Powder. This is this product. I do not like it. I'm really starting to hate this thing, which kind of sucks. I did kind of take like a little bobby pin, and I was kind of just wondering how deep it was, so I poked a little hole in it. And I have a long ways to go, I'm kind of seeing. Like, this powder is not as thin as I was hoping it would be, or as that I thought it would be. But I just have not really used this a ton. I really tried throughout the month to use it a lot more. But I just noticed that, on the under eyes, it was just way too ashy. And then there were a couple times where I'm like, I'm just going to use it as an all-over face powder because then maybe it won't seem so ashy. Like, maybe it just seems ashy with my under eyes and then my face being warmer. But just all over the face, too, it just seems super ashy. So I have not figured out yet what I'm going to do with this or how I'm going to finish this. But I'm really determined kind of more than ever to finish this, just to say that I did, because I'm kind of having some difficulties with it. But I think I'm just going to, again, try to kind of pair it with like a super yellow foundation, see if they just both kind of neutralize, and maybe that'll work out better. But I'm not going to give up on that one. And then my 5 samples out of my sample bag. I didn't finish anything this month that I can remember. I know there's a couple things I've opened and kind of started to use from the sample bag, but I can't really think of anything right off the top of my head. Besides, I had the Benefit Puff Off. This, I've opened it, and I've opened it to see what it was like, but I've never opened it to use it. So I was like, okay, I'll kind of count that, but I did use this a couple times just because I used a new makeup remover on my eyes, and my eyes were super swollen the next day. So I tried the Puff Off, hoping it would kind of calm it down. It did a little bit, so I'm gonna keep going with that one. I feel like it was one of those products that probably work better if it actually came with the metal tip applicator, which this doesn't. It's just like a little squeezy tube. But I didn't finish any of the 5 samples. I've kind of started, like I said, a couple things. I think there's a couple other samples I've started. I just cannot remember right now, but nothing finished there yet. So that is my extremely long update on everything. I hope you guys still enjoy this. I am feeling a little overwhelmed right now, but I think that's just because, like I said, last year in January was such a good month for me, and this just hasn't started out the same way. But I do feel like I am kind of panning almost tougher products this year, especially with all the lotions and stuff. Like, I feel a little overwhelmed with those, but I am telling myself right now, like, you can do this, you can finish the lotions. Like, it's a big deal because I really want to clean them out. So anyways, I'm rambling, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.